G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League and end of the last season. So unfortunately you can't really see my rank and rewards, but I did finish at expert rank. Thing to remember here is throw on a star piece because well, you're about to see why 82,000 starter, so try and get that star piece on before you claim your rank rewards. And that's the end of the last season, and we're going to start up a new one. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and if you like the content, but otherwise, well, if you don't, hit it anyway. Let's jump in and have a look. So obviously we're in the Great League to start things off, and this is my first set, so I'm expecting some interesting picks, to say the least. So this is the team I ended the Kanto Cup with, so Dragonair, Dewgong and Magneton. So I don't think I will stick with that, I guess. I don't know. Let's have a look at what we can switch it up to. So obviously anything you want under 1500 CP. So the question is, how is the meta going to change with all the buffs to poison? So it seemed like Niantic really wants poison to have a place in the meta because they buffed a whole lot of poison type moves. That being said, I don't really have much that uses poison type moves. I guess I've got the Grass Hole team that runs the Victory Shadow Vic with a poison move. I've got a Gengar, I think, that runs poison. Other than that, not too much. So I'm thinking about what I should use here, and to be honest, if poison's been buffed, then potentially the Magneton that is a steel type is going to be really good against that. However, with access to, well, Swampert, and, well, Swampert being one of the big ones, but any of the mud boys being like Wishcash and stuff like that. Not sure that I want to go an electric and steel type that is just going to get absolutely monstered by those running any sort of ground type moves. So just having a look there at what I can change up or what I can keep. So do I want to keep that team? It seems reasonable, but I don't think so. Let's jump back in and swap. I'm going to swap out the Magneton. So I do like the Dewgong having Icy Wind. So as you can see, there's the Dragonair, Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Dragon Pulse. So I will keep that one, and I'll lead with that. I'm hoping I don't hit too many fairies or too much ice. So I've got Dewgong running Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and Water Pulse. So Icy Wind there, which will debuff your opponent's attack, so which is really good. And Magneton, well, was running Thundershock, Discharge, and Magnet Bomb, which is the moveset to run on that. But questionable whether that should be the one. To be honest, let's get that out of there. So always hard for these first sets, and I guess for the first couple of sets you can be a little bit more varied. I'm going to throw in Galarian Stunfisk. So running what's it running? Mudshot, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. So going to be running those, and the reason for that is because so there you go, Mudshot, Rock Slide, and Earthquake on the Galarian Stunfisk. And it just has a little bit of play against, well, it doesn't really have a huge amount of play because it's still a steel type. So, I mean, we'll see how we go. It's got good coverage because it's got a lot of good neutral matches, especially with the Rock Slide. And we've got a Galvantula off the lead. So, and it's not running Volt Switch. It's running a Bug fast move, so there's the spice. So Galvantula on the lead is sort of not a spicy pick. The fact that it is not running Volt Switch is a spicy pick. So the question here is, what's it going to throw? Is it going to have lunge and discharge, which is, it's got energy ball. So someone needs to invest in a couple of TMs for that thing. So energy ball doesn't do too much damage, and I'm able to farm it down. So let's see what their next pick is. So the next one to come out, at least they've swapped into something that's acceptable. So swapped into the fairy. It is going to take me out pretty quickly with charms, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to let this countdown clock go a little bit and then come out with the Galarian Stunfisk, because that's going to be able to resist those charms. They have used both of their shields, which indicates, yeah, they're probably, and the fact that, well, they're not running super meta moves, that they're not going to be, yeah. Let's just, yeah, they're going to be your average battler. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to shield up this first one because I've got 2 shields. Moonblast comes through, and then I'm going to look to farm this down because the charms just aren't going to do enough damage to really worry me, and they're not going to get to another charge move, which obviously they didn't. And then out comes Toxicroak, so they have got a decent... They've got a couple of fairly meta mon. Don't know what moveset it was running, but Earthquake says goodbye to Toxicroak when shields are down. So, I mean, that wasn't a terrible team. They only really, well, so interesting that they didn't have the right moves on Galvantula, and interesting second pick there, but overall, not terrible. I think everything was around the 1500 mark, so nothing like too ridiculously weak. So if you see Pokemon with like 1000 CP, then you know that you're in for an easy game. But for that one, yeah, did alright. Interesting moves on the Galvantula, to say the least. If you're going to run it, definitely run Volt Switch, Discharge, and Lunge. So Grottle on the lead. Again, the Razor Leafs aren't going to be doing too much damage to my Dragonair, and Dragonair is going to be able to go to absolute town on this thing. So I'm going to shield this up. I'm just trying to remember what moves it has. Unfortunately, it is the Body Slam. So going to have to invest the shield there. So I'm going to over farm a lot and throw the Aqua Tail. Obviously, Aqua Tail is not going to be doing too much damage. It is resisted, but I'm hoping to grab a shield. Yes, I'm able to grab a shield, and they swap out into the Jolteon there. So able to get to the Dragon Pulse. Let's see if they want to shield. So they do shield it up, and I'm going to swap straight into my Galarian Stunfisk, and this these electric moves are going to be doing absolutely no damage. So because of the ground typing, it's going to be immune to the electric type attack. So at least they're running Volt Switch on this. It's the right move to be running, I think. I'll be honest, I don't really know what the ideal moveset on Jolteon is. So throwing the Discharge out there, and as you can see, just does absolutely no damage. And I'm going to look to get a little bit of extra farm here, and just throw this Rock Slide before they're able to get to another Discharge. Not that it does much damage, but I'll get to throw this Rock Slide and take this out, and we'll get to see what is in the back. Will we get to see what's in the back, or are they going to come back out with the... yes, they're going to come back out with the Grottle there. Again, just straight up Rock Slide this thing. That is enough to take it out, and we'll see now what's in the back. So they've got a shiny Celebi. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, cool. For this one though, being grass, I'm going to welcome out Dewgong to the party. Going to be doing super effective damage there. Expect this to be a Psychic to come through, to be honest. Could be... yeah, so it is the Psychic. Psychic comes through, and I'm going to be able to look to farm down, but they know that this is GG's at this point, so they leave the match. So cool shiny flex there, but I mean, is it really flexing if you get beaten with none of your opponent's Pokemon getting taken out? Not so sure. Possibly just pick a nice team rather than going for that shiny flex. So we'll jump into the next one. And so far the teams have been not as crazy as I've seen in the past. So a lot of teams in the past have been just a random Pokemon generator. Basically, you could hit anything. These have all been fairly standard teams, so nothing crazy. Most things using either meta or sort of pseudo meta teams, so nothing terribly crazy. Got booted out of that one, so not ideal. We'll jump in and see if we can get another match. One of the things about early season is you'll get matched up super quickly, so really good to get matches done. If you want to, if you don't want to be sitting around waiting in a lobby, it's early season. These first few matches always go really quickly, which is nice. So we'll jump into this next one. They've got a Dewgong on the lead. So this is absolutely brutal. So I'm going to swap into my own Dewgong here, and we'll see what they want to do. So I'm, to be honest, expecting them to Icy Wind and Bounce. And now I was able to get an extra Ice Shard in there for my Dewgong, which is really nice. Either way, yeah, so it is an Icy Wind, and that's going to do absolutely no damage. Unfortunately, it does mean that, I'm debuffed. But they swap into a Sunny Form Cherrim. So I'm just going to go straight up Icy Wind here, get the first shield. I've got back-to-back Icy Winds, so happy days. Yeah, let's just throw these things. Let's see what they want to do. So, decided to no shield that first one. I'm going to just go to town on it. My Ice Shards are doing a lot of damage. I'm going to let this go. It's been debuffed twice. Weather Ball comes through, and that is brutal. Does absolutely no damage. So it is neutral because of the fire typing. Super effective against ice, resisted against water, but so hopefully we're getting, what, Energy Ball is the other move this thing has. Is it Energy Ball? Whatever their grass type move is. It was another bait, so that's really not ideal for me. But I am able to completely commit to the farm down, which is spectacular. I've got back-to-back Icy Winds here, so I'm going to be able to Icy Wind the Dewgong. So Dewgongs come back out. I'll Icy Wind that. And let's see what they want to do. So they're going to throw the, well, I imagine it's going to be an Icy Wind. Let's see how much / little damage this does. Does absolutely no damage. So at this point, the thing you've got to be aware of is the switch clock. The countdown clock. You potentially, with Dewgong Mirror Match, it takes an absolute age, as you're unfortunately witnessing right now. So what I'm going to do is need to be aware that this will potentially come to a timeout, so you just want more Pokemon alive than they do. At the moment, it's 3-2 in my favour, so happy days. And we'll see what they want to do. So Icy Wind comes through again, and look at that, just does absolutely no damage, taking an absolute age to get to a charge move here. Unfortunately, they got to another one, so not going to shield this up. Another Icy Wind is actually not going to KO from this range, just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it does absolutely no damage whatsoever. Unfortunately, they have fully debuffed me now. My attack is just so very low, so I'm just going to throw this Water Pulse. They don't shield, and as you can see, still does absolutely no damage. And because I think that this is going to come to a timeout, so I'm just going to throw the, another Icy Wind. Absolutely insane. And let's see how little, just no damage. I'm actually going to swap out into my Galarian Stunfisk here, and save the third Pokemon. So 2 to 3, I will win this at a timeout, just because this match has taken absolutely forever. So we'll see what they want to do here. So not sure if they're going to try and get a sack swap. They don't go for the sack swap, so just going to throw straight into the Rock Slide, and this is fine. So now I'm 3-1 up. What comes out? It's the Mud Boy. So not ideal for me here, but still, I'm not going to shield this up. If it gets a Blizzard onto my Dragonair, I'm going to be in for a bad day. So I will save that shield. So I'm currently, I've got a shield. I've got a very healthy Dragonair and a very unhealthy Dewgong. So going to throw that. Even if they take this out, I'm going to let it go because I want to save my shield for the Dragonair, because I'm fully expecting this match to time out with the length of time that Dewgong mirror match took. So Mod Bomb comes through, and it is obviously enough to take me out. I'm going to let the countdown clock go because, like I said, yeah, let's time this match out. So out comes the Dragonair. Time is up. 2 Pokemon to 1. Yeah, I get the win. So happy days. To be honest, that was pretty much game over there at that point. But yeah, that Dewgong mirror just takes an absolute age. So that's why I swapped it out to maintain that 2-to-1 advantage in terms of Pokemon to get the timeout win. So happy days. So we'll jump into the next one and see how we go. So Dragonair into Wigglytuff. Ugh, brutal. So tried to swap out, but actually swapped out just a fraction slow. Missed to start with. And then out comes the Ivysaur. So Ivysaur comes out. It's not a good, I don't know. I don't think it's a very good play, but I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? So Razor Leaf is doing a lot of damage, and I'm able to get to a second Icy Wind before they throw a charge move. So I think they were just trying to farm me all the way down. So I'm going to throw this Icy Wind, and they no shield it. I take switch. I take a shield advantage. I've got the Wigglytuff aligned with my Galarian Stunfisk, so I'm going to let this countdown clock go a bit just so I can swap a bit earlier, but I don't want to let it go completely so my Dragonair comes out. That would be an absolute nightmare. So out comes the Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going to look to just go to town on this thing. Going to start, let's put some pressure on, straight into the Earthquake. If they decide to no shield, they're in for a bad time. Earthquake comes through, and they decide no shield. Goodbye to all of your energy. Out comes a Snorlax, and at this point they know that's good game. I was going to be saving my shields for the Dragonair, and the only way that they were going to take me out is if they superpowered. If they superpowered, they'd debuff and then not be able to take out the Dragonair. So in a real tough spot there, able to take that game. But again, pretty good teams from my opponents from a whole. And we'll jump into this last one. So able to go 4-0 to start with. So into this this last one, and we'll see how we go with this bit of a different team. So we've got a yeah, interesting. So out comes the Machamp, and this is actually really bad for me because I don't have an answer to this Machamp in the back. So going to have to shield this first one up. I'm really hoping for a Rock Slide. Unfortunately, it is only a Cross Chop. So going to want to look to farm this down. Well, farm a bit more. And then throw the Aqua Tail. So I had the same problem in my, like I said, in my Kanto Cup team, that I had a very big weakness to Machamp, and this team is no different. So I'm going to let this one go. Cross Chop comes through, and it is not quite enough to take me out. So they get an extra counter through and farm me down. So that's really bad. So going to come in with the Dewgong, even though it is going to be doing super effective damage. And the reason for that is because I know it's got a horrible matchup against the Raichu, so I might as well let it take a little bit of damage. So the Raichu hasn't got as much farm. So going to throw the Icy Wind here. See if I get a shield. So able to grab that last shield from them. And let's see what they want to do. So I know this is probably going to have Brick Break, which is not ideal. Well, because it means that they do have a little bit more play against my Stunfisk. So the Brick Break comes through. And then I store a Icy Wind and swap into my Stunfisk. I'm hoping to catch. Nope. So there is still the Brick Break. Really unfortunate. I was really hoping to catch a charge move. So here I make a huge misplay and throw the Rock Slide. I should have charged up to the Earthquake and thrown the Earthquake. Yeah, because the Rock Slide is not going to do enough damage. and I'm not going to get to back-to-back rock slides, so 100% should have thrown the Earthquake. Shadow Ball is not quite enough to take me out, but one more Fire Spin is, and then they're going to be able to get to a charge move, unfortunately. I did try to throw my Icy Wind, probably should have thrown that earlier, but I wanted to get a little bit of extra energy because I was expecting them to swap straight out when I threw this. And again, I underfarm here just to get a little bit more energy, but underfarm too much. And out comes the Raichu, plenty of health on it, and Volt switches me down. So bit of a misplay, well, a couple of misplays by me. And so in the end went 4 and 1 on my first set. So not too bad, but to be honest, it's always these first sets are sort of where you want to try and get some streaks in, because let's be honest, they are the easiest to win once you start getting up there in rank. As you can see by my videos, it gets very difficult to get those wins. So got a Machamp as the reward. Happy days. Managed to hit that excellent throw. I have a video on improving your excellent throws, so if you want to get a few tips on how to improve those excellent throws, I'll link to that and you can check that out now. Unfortunately, it didn't want to stay in the ball, so let's throw another Ultra Ball and see how we go. So getting the second stage evolution of a Pokemon is always good, because you know you're going to get those XL Candy. Unfortunately, Machamp's had a community day since XL Candy came out, and I do have a fully powered up level 50 Machamp already, but still gotta love those XL Candy and 20 normal Machop candies. Happy days. So first set, 4 and 1, so not too bad. Gonna get me up to rank 2. Hopefully that was useful for someone. Like I said, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.